work and stuff, I'll have them do their language. If I understand and I'm feeling your pain or I'm laughing in the right places and I don't understand the language, then I know you're doing it right. It's a good barometer for me, too. If I'm crying in the right place, it's happened in Russia, right? These two people did not speak any English, zero. And they were veteran actors. They were like very big time. Most of the people in the school in Russia were like stars there. And so I had an interpreter, but the thing is that I never heard it in English. But it was from how they took the notes and what they did the first time to the rework the second day was like, I was weeping with tears. That's even Kramer versus Kramer. It was like amazing. And what they did the first time, which was good, you know, solid. These are people who studied a lot and, you know, went and worked a lot, but it wasn't great. I always say to people, I don't make good actors, I make great actors. Not good enough to be good for me. So we got to lift you up to those places. So the language barrier, I don't think it's a barrier. I think that if you're doing it in the right way, with as much, you know, with the passion to overcome and win from all the truths that make you who you are, then I'm going to understand you, and so is everybody else. You know?
Yeah. So, what are some of these film titles that you are using for the scene styles?
What did I come up with?
Some of those are, yeah, When a Man Loves a Woman, Guilt Trip, Erin Brockovich, Say Anything, Chasing Amy, Perks of Being a Wallflower. So, those are some of the...
Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, yeah.
Thank you.
Classics. Classics.
Okay. Our next question is from Adrian of Push.com.
Hi, Ms. Ivanna. My question is, will you use the same technique that you use with the Hollywood actors, with the actors here in the Philippines, or is your technique does your technique varies from culture to culture, from country to country, or is it all the same?
I'm gonna do what I do in class. What do you think?
That it varies from culture to culture.
What do you really think?
That's right.
Yeah, it's got to be the same, obviously. As I said, people are people. I believe everybody is the same in terms of their needs. Why would I vary it up?
All right, listen. My second question.
I may ask you a question too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My second question. How do you define a great actor?
How do I find a great actor?
How do you define a great actor?
Oh, how do I define a great actor? The same equation that I gave before, which was someone who has a really strong work ethic, the hard worker, and someone who takes risks and makes bold choices and is not worried whether people are not going to like you, where they're going to be afraid to look stupid, that they just are willing to do anything, you know, to get what they want in terms of the objective of the scene and not care what other people think. And I think that is that to me is what defines greatness, is that in everything. Is the people, when they're worried about pleasing you, people pleasing, do you guys have that term here, people pleasing? Does it ever work in life to people please? Anybody? Does it ever work? It doesn't work to people please, because you can't please everybody. But if you kind of follow your own way and just really go after what you want with that purpose and focus, people follow you. But you can't people please and expect success in anything. And so it's the same thing as trying to people please choices. So the people that are dynamic are the people that don't care what you think, because it's those people that have followers. Those are the leaders of the world. You want to be a leader. Let's be a follower. Let's be leaders, right? I deal with everything like it's a class. Okay, come on, work with me, people.
Okay, our next question is coming from Alan.
Hi, Ivanna. I just want to ask if it's, do you find it easier to teach younger, aspiring actors who doesn't have much prior experience to acting, or does it have any bad acting habits?
Yeah, no, I actually find it's harder to work with young people. Like, give me young. Give me define young for you.
About teens?
Teens. I don't ever work with teens.
Okay.
18 is as you know, young as I get, because I need you to understand life, and I also don't want to mess with your head because you're not ready to know certain things. And I don't care how smart you are. It's called emotional maturation, and you should be of a certain age to really understand how to take your life and your feelings and understand what they mean, and there's a certain age when that's the case. So if you're really young, it's like, I just can't go there. It makes me crazy. But like in terms of people who've never done anything before, in my school in LA, you have to go through a process of learning the technique with my other teachers before you get to me. I want you to know at the least my technique and know how to apply that. Teaching basics isn't as interesting to me as tweaking you. And like I said before, Charlize Theron would come with all her work done. It's so fun to play and to tweak and to change things that already have a nice foundation than it is to create the foundation. It's like saying this. Would you prefer to lay the foundation of a house or actually create the beauty of the house that's on top of it? So I don't really want to create the cement and the stuff that's down there, create the hole. I dig the hole, put the cement in, that's creating the foundation. Not interesting, but creating a beautiful house with a structure and architecture and that kind of stuff, that's where your eye want to come in.
Do actors who have more life experiences have immediate advantage over other actors who doesn't have that?
No, because everybody takes things differently. You could have, I think the main thing is being open and being available to, who you truly are, as opposed to lying to yourself. That's the real struggle. It's like not knowing who. The better you know you are, the better you know yourself, the more colors you have to play with. If you are lying to yourself, you have a lot of beige. And I don't want to watch beige. I want to watch purples and oranges and yellows and all this stuff and whatever your life experience is, it doesn't matter. Because the idea is, if you want to be an actor in the first place, it's something you want to express. And so there's something there that is important. And it's up to me and the student to help figure that out.
So what is the first thing you tell someone who approaches you and wants to learn from you?
What do I do about that?
What's the first thing you tell them?
What do I tell them? You have to study, you come to class, there's no words that are going to give, there's no magic, pill. Come to class, hone your skills and your talent, understand more who you are. The book is meant to be a guide. It's meant to also be a workbook. It's supposed to be read and reread and reread and reread, because there's all kinds of information. Every time you read it, you're going to get something more out of it and different out of it. And so it's just do the work. And it's just, I wish there was a magic pill or a magic sentence that says, oh, that's the one, it's the fairy dust one. It's like, I'm going to be a star now because you said the exact perfect sentence. But you know what? To be great, it takes work. Does it take a long time? No. Because what I'm teaching is basic psychology, behavioral science. You live it every day. So it's really easy to understand. So I've had people, this happened just recently, sometimes in my class, not even in my direct class, just the technique. Only in the class, beginner, ranked beginner, never acted a day in her life. There for 2 months, but worked her ass off in those 2 months, and she booked a lead in a series. She's shooting it now. 2 months. That's just happened.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question is coming from push.com.
Hi, Ivanna. I was just wondering, because there are a lot of local celebs right now that are really looking into penetrating a wider audience, if not the Hollywood. What are the tips that you usually give aspiring celebs who want to penetrate Hollywood? The most common tips. I'm sure you've heard that.
My common tip is, like, you gotta study. I don't know how I'm gonna ever get around that tip, but that's what you gotta do. And you can't just, it's like, you can't just show up to Hollywood and expect everybody, because you're a local celebrity, because like, that doesn't mean anything in Hollywood. So what you gotta, if you come in and you audition and your work is great, you got the job. If your work is okay, you don't. So it's like, if you study, and I hate to just keep going like, I'm so great, but the truth of the matter is people come and study with me in LA and they get really great acting jobs from all over the world. You know, so it's, and again, it doesn't matter which neck of the woods you come from. It's just like the good work is what sells you. And in Hollywood, in the international market, you really have to be, you realize that it's a big pond, and you got to rise to the occasion that there are sharks in that pond, and there are piranha in that pond, and there's all kinds of bacteria in that pond, and you got to be of this right stuff to be able to tackle the sharks, the piranha, and the bacteria, and rise to the top. Well, you need the skills and the ability to do that, and say if you know how to swim, that metaphor I just gave you, you'd be eaten by the shark in seconds. Okay, but if you're like become a great swimmer, understand that the ability of marine life, you know, of understanding why sharks do what they do, and why piranhas do what they do, and how the bacteria in that particular resource operates. That's education, education, education. You can battle all those things because you know what you're dealing with. So again, talent is not enough. It may be enough in other places. It's not enough in the United States. It's just not. Why? Because everybody comes there. So they have choices. They have so many choices. But it doesn't matter. You can have a strong accent. You could have you don't have to be pretty or handsome. Many people have done really, really well without. It's just because their skill level was really important.
Okay, my second question would be, is there a difference between, whenever you coach an actor, between if he's going to play a role in a mainstream film or an independent film?
I think good acting is good acting is good acting. I don't change or vary my notes off of the medium you're in or the venue you're doing, ever. Good acting is good acting is good acting, period. I believe that. Why? Because I don't go from a resource of acting. I go from the resource of true human behavior. What creates human behavior? Behavioral science, psychology, the history of mankind. All that creates the truth of what people do. So why would I change it up for venues when I'm just recreating human behavior? Period. So why would the venue make any difference? It doesn't. Not in the way I don't even think in terms of like other techniques, because it's like, to me, it's a bunch of playing games that don't make sense to being a human being.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question will be coming from one of our bloggers, Adrian.
Good.
So, I have to say that in a short span of time, I've learned a lot from you.
Education is what I'm all about, for real. I mean, that was a very happy moment for me. I got to show
My question is, well, my mentor told me once that to become a good actor, you have to be an effective actor. You have to connect with your audience. So
you have to connect with the other person so that your co-star, the person you're acting with, that connects you to your audience. How are you going to cross a screen into your audience? And it's called breaking the fourth wall if you do it on stage. you're not meant to connect to the audience. You're meant to connect with the person that's on stage with you, whether it's set or stage. Then you affect your audience. Let them come in.